Today we're taking a look at these NCAAB matches, which are happening on Thursday, December 8, 2022, and giving you match breakdowns, betting tips and predictions in general on these games. Welcome back to High Stakes. Before we dive into our video, don't forget to subscribe and push that notification bell to get notified as soon as we release these sport prediction videos. Also, check out our perks and join the High Stakes membership. Joining the High Stakes membership is easy, is cheap, but it will help a lot in the growth process of this channel. Plus, if you would like more betting tips and predictions, then check out our Patreon in the link down below. Our new Patreon is a way for us to help you improve your chances of making more money. Multiple plans are available for each and every one of you. By becoming a member of the High Stakes Patreon, you will have access to our best team picks, total picks, parlay picks and much more. Stop wasting hours of your time searching for bad betting predictions that ends up costing you a lot of time and money. Join the High Stakes Patreon now and get the best betting picks. Going back to our video, we will give you 2 betting picks for each game, a team pick and a total pick based on facts and detailed explanation. One more thing before we start, check out our new channel High Stakes Props and Parlays, where you can find our player props and parlay picks predictions. You will find the link in the description and comments section below. And make sure to watch our videos till the end so you don't miss any of our picks. Duquesne vs Marshall. We've got 2 teams that are on a roll entering this game, with Marshall winning 7 straight and Duquesne 6 in a row, so something has to give here. Of course, the competition hasn't been anything really stiff yet this season. 6 of Marshall's 7 wins have come over teams ranked 200th or worse in the KenPom rankings. The lone exception is their win over Akron, who is 126th in those rankings this season. Duquesne has 4 wins over teams in the top 200, including wins over Colgate, 114th, and UC Santa Barbara, 119th this season. The Duke's lone loss came to Kentucky, who is 6th in those rankings. Marshall is 1-1 on the road this season, and Duquesne has played well at home. The Dukes have been a pleasant surprise so far, and they keep their momentum going by taking a tight game in their own barn. Take Duquesne Dukes -1 point. Marshall is in the top 10 in points per game and the top 5 in assists and rebounds. This is largely a factor of their insane pace of play, ranked 20th in Pomeroy's adjusted tempo. That's going to be amplified against the Dukes, who both take and allow a good amount of threes. The Thundering Herd already takes the most shots per game of any team in the country, 71.6, so a leaky defense like Duquesne, allowing 44.2% shooting, is perfect prey. This game is going to be played fast and with optional defense. I'm liking the over 151.5 points. Ohio State vs Rutgers. The Rutgers Scarlet Knights enter this challenging road bout with confidence. They were dealt a disappointing 68-61 road loss against Miami, Ohio on Wednesday, and rebounded by earning a solid 63-48 home win against number 10 Indiana on Saturday to begin conference play. Rutgers was marked as a 3-point dog in that one. They are a strong team capable of beating anyone. Their only other defeat occurred against Temple. The Scarlet Knights have covered the spread in 3 out of their last 4 clashes. The number 25 Ohio State Buckeyes enter Big Ten play as a winner of 3 out of their last 4 games. Ohio State has earned a few solid victories, defeating Cincinnati, along with an 80-73 victory against a good Texas Tech squad. They lost by an 81-72 score at Duke last Wednesday and rebounded in a dominating 96-59 home win against St. Francis Pa, but did not cover the huge 29-point spread. The Buckeyes have covered in 3 out of their last 4 bouts. The Rutgers Scarlet Knights have only played 1 road game all season, resulting in a 68-61 loss against Miami, Florida. They also have a bad loss against Temple. Ohio State has earned a big win against Texas Tech, which was ranked at the time and is undefeated at home. Furthermore, Rutgers is a squad that relies on defense, but the Buckeyes' defense is also outstanding, plus they are the much better offensive team by a large margin. Rutgers is only averaging 105.4 points per 100 possessions, while Ohio State is 3rd in all of DI, with an average of 117.2 points per 100. The Scarlet Knights are shooting an abysmal 31.3% from 3-point range and are not going to have success against a Buckeyes defense, limiting foes to 27.7% shooting from deep. Take the Ohio State Buckeyes -5.5 points. Rutgers is entering this matchup following Saturday's 63-48 victory over the number 10 Indiana Hoosiers, making that their sixth straight victory over the Hoosiers. The Scarlet Knights were led by Caleb McConnell, 16 PTS, 10 Reb, 2 STL, 33.3% FG, and Derek Simpson, 14 PTS, 4 Reb, 2 STL, 38.5% FG, in their sixth win this season. As a team, the Scarlet Knights were 22 for 60.367 from the field and 6 for 21 from beyond the arc, .286. Rutgers recorded 47 rebounds, 11 assists, 7 steals, and 5 blocks, while turning the ball over 13 times. They allowed the Hoosiers to shoot 30.4% from the field and 24% from deep. The Scarlet Knights struggled to make shots during their matchup against Indiana, which will be something that won't slide against the Buckeyes. The Buckeyes will be playing in their first conference matchup when they face the Scarlet Knights and will be looking to start 1-0 in their conference matchups. In their last outing, Ohio State dominated SFU in a 96-59 victory where they were led by Bryce Ensabaugh, 15 PTS, 2 Reb, 1 BLK, 40% FG, and Bruce Thornton, 13 PTS, 2 Reb, 2 AST, 50% FG. The Buckeyes ended the night shooting 50.7% from the field, 56.5% from beyond the arc, and 72.2% from the line. In addition, they earned 47 rebounds, 20 assists, 3 steals, and 5 blocks, while turning the ball over 7 times. They allowed the Red Flash to shoot 40.7% from the field and 31.6% from deep. Although Ohio State has a high-scoring offense, Rutgers has an elite defense that will slow them down and cause chaos. The Buckeyes will have to move the ball around a significant amount to find an opening. The Scarlet Knights aren't scoring a lot of points per game this season already, and I don't expect that to change against Ohio State. Rutgers has an adjusted offensive efficiency of 105.4, 108, and an adjusted tempo of 68.1, 175th. While their offense is playing slightly slower than the Buckeyes' offense, I expect them to slow the tempo even more to minimize mistakes and maximize points. Ohio State has an adjusted offensive efficiency of 117.2, third, and an adjusted tempo of 67.1, 223rd. They maximize points each possession, but will absolutely struggle to do that against a team that is surrendering just 54.1 points per game and causing havoc on the arc and in the paint. Take the under 137 points. Iowa vs. Iowa State. Iowa State rolled to a trio of blowout wins over UPI, North Carolina A&T and Milwaukee to open the season. The Cyclones added a pair of high-level wins over Villanova and then number 1 North Carolina in the Phil Knight Invitational. They were unable to seal the deal in the title game of that tournament, falling to then number 20 UConn in a 71-53 final. Iowa State has been able to get back on track since then, beating North Dakota and St. John's by double digits. The Cyclones were only 6.5-point favorites in their 71-60 win over the Red Storm on Sunday, as they knocked down 38.5% of their three-pointers. Iowa will be hoping to add a marquee non-conference win to its resume on Thursday night. The Hawkeyes went 5-0 in their first 5 games of the season, beating Seton Hall and Clemson. They have lost 2 of their 3 games since then, falling to TCU and number 15 Duke. Their lone win during that 3-game stretch came against Georgia Tech last week in an 81-65 blowout. They trailed for virtually the entire game against Duke in the Jimmy V Classic at Madison Square Garden on Tuesday. Iowa came into the game averaging 86.4 points per game, but Duke held an opponent under 65 points for the 8th time. Iowa State has a fantastic defense, but I have trouble believing that the Cyclones have enough offensive firepower to keep pace with Iowa on Thursday night. They have made less than 32% of their three-pointers, and those numbers are not going to improve in a rivalry matchup on the road. Iowa has one of the best defenses in college basketball and is not going to fall victim to Iowa State's turnover-wreaking defense. The Hawkeyes have won 4 of the last 6 meetings between these teams and have only lost 1 time against the spread in the last 7 matchups. They have also covered the spread in 6 straight home games, as their offense is even deadlier in a familiar environment. Take Iowa minus 6.5 points. The Cyclones have been solid to start the season. Iowa State comes into this game at 7-1 with impressive wins over North Carolina and St. John's. ISU also beat Villanova 81-79 at home. The Cyclones have played games at neutral sites, but this will be their first true road game. Iowa State has one loss to an undefeated Duquesne team, 71-53. The Cyclones have played well to start the season. The Hawkeyes come into this game at 6-2, but Iowa has played a very easy schedule so far. Iowa is only 2-2 against power conference teams, and the Hawkeyes lost by double digits at home in their two toughest games, to TCU and Duke. Iowa lost a number of key starters from last year, including Keegan Murray, and the team struggled offensively in both of their recent losses against better competition. Iowa State should be able to control this game defensively, and the Cyclones likely will slow the tempo after they build an early lead. Iowa's offense has been very inconsistent against top-level competition, and the Cyclones have been very good defensively, even against top-level competition. ISU hasn't played a true road game yet, but they played in the Phil Knight Invitational Tournament in Portland, and the Cyclones were impressive there. ISU's defense should be able to limit the inconsistent Iowa offense, and the Cyclones are likely to try to shorten the game with long possession after they are able to build a solid lead, which is likely. Take the under here.